Hey everyone, welcome to another Formation Series concert. As many of you know, we do this the third Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. I'm not sure exactly how long it's been now, but over a decade, pandemic aside. So I'm glad it's still going strong, and I appreciate everyone continuing to come out and support things. Tonight, as I'm sure you all know since you're here, we're doing the combination of poets and musicians. I think this is the fourth one. I think this is the fourth one we've done. We've had a little different combination of musicians every time. Tonight we've got Mantel on percussion and Barry Clark on bass. And then we've got 5 poets. They're each going to perform individually. We'll have the first 3 of them, and then we'll take an intermission at that point. So the first poet is someone I met at Poets Mondays at Linneman's, hosted by Tim, who's here tonight. And that is Nick Cipollone. He's your first reader.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't sure what to be. We'll let you know. It all depends on what signal I get. My first poem. A cut thistle. Bull thistle, grown in coal silt, down by the cement carrier docks, near where the old tannery burned and slid into the Burnham Canal. Now cut, freshly, in water vase. We take our meal at this table, our bread, meat, water, wine, where the cut thistle now flickers and dries. Superb lavender, soft blossom bulb floats atop shaft of verdant spines, each point piercing an atom. Cut glass kitchen sarcophagus, hard by pepper and salt, still feeding, even now, silent. Its own word itself, it needs no voice, but with our small license, we give it one. It speaks. I grow strong in blasted earth, where all else dies, I live. Wind tears me, I scatter seed. Fire burns me, ash makes fertile. I am violet, spiral and spark, I return. I am fury, at rest in green, I return. Kill me again with toxin or steel, I return. Daybreak, nightfall, dying always. I am that hard and thorny beauty which no scythe may ever touch. This is called Bottom's Dream. Mr. Cross. Bottom's Dream. A Midsummer Night's Dream, Act 4, Scene 1. Falling I rose and in rising fell, tumbled into gently fragrant light, a white embrace, a bed of ferns. My lover was by me and graced me, laid her moonlit dominion at my feet. This was mine, night blossom and hemlock, the crossroad and churchyard spirit's mind to command, to seek for me delights, to bring me honeycomb and forest music. This was mine, a vision of daylit night, of owl's world seen through owl's eyes. I lay king in my queen's arms, took pleasure in her body, and she in mine. We danced. We danced by pale grass and silver bush, past oak and gnarled thorny hawthorn, to a high sacred hilltop, then then spiraled above it, roiling as clouds cross night's secret lunar face. I dreamt as I rose, and rising, I fell, tumbled to a brick place with no bottom, called dawn, a dim, bright place of chill air and damp. I awoke to find myself asleep again, awoke to find myself an ass, a man.
Yeah.
Poem to 3, it's called Triad, a denial. 1, but she is not, but she is not, but she is not the one I love. She, too, she is not the one whose eyes are dappled with tarnished silver clouds that conceal, reveal the moon in their passage. She is not the one whose hands are white with the powdered bones of her lovers, are white with distance and memory. She is not the one whose voice calls, still calls from caves, from groves, from lonely places on chill, stricken nights. She is not, she is not, she is not. 3, and she is not my mistress, and she is not my muse, and she is not my lover. Coals glow in the tripod brazier. Old women gossip in the shadowed courtyard. Soldiers patrol the unlit streets. Daybirds have begun to sing. Informers are everywhere. I must dissemble and be cunning. 3 times I deny her. I deny everything. Dawn will see me blind. Fourth poem. Icarus Rising. Osprey and Goshawk, titanium and fire, I know you. Eagle, I know your turbines, the thrust, the flare, secret telemetries, sacred trajectories, clouds below me, below clouds, ocean, Gyre Falcon, I am master now. Energy sanctifies me as I rise. 1 small step. Earth is curved. Sky is black. Sun is white. This is high knowledge and potent. The air here is thin and cold. It invigorates me and clears my head. To rise is to know, and knowing is power. Wingbone, canard, flight feather, she-suit, rising. To rip aside Apollo's incandescent veil and see his face. Rising is knowing, knowing is acceleration, is furious and warlike prayer. There is so much to learn. Roger, go and throttle up. The highest point. Pull, stick back hard, aim to sun's core, locked on and tracking. The sun is the highest point. Point. I am blinded by purity and light. I am becoming a god. I cannot breathe. Godhood. Sun, most precious and bright. It's mine. It's mine. I want it. Still life with upright piano. The lobby is quiet now, and nothing moves. The room's geometry is as precise as a dentist's office or Mondrian canvas. Dog-eared back issues of Reader's Digest and American Heritage rest in clean alignment on dark, varnished tabletops. The vacant sofa is tired. A feeble and kindly Chippendale chair stands dull, companion to a cold fireplace. The desk clerk has been on the nod forever. He gets off at 7, but In a corner, an upright Baldwin is poised. The wires are tuned, the keys are alert. White keys yellowed with patience, black keys dusted with time and longing. And the waiting consumes them. They want graceful, distant fingers, blue notes, sudden hard hand bass lines strut. Bird of paradise runs and trills. It seems like years, or more than years, that this piano is idled like a smooth motor, waiting, as though Art Tatum might walk in at any minute. Esther Phillips sings the blues. Her smoke-honeyed voice, blue depth like the color of the sky in the last few seconds before dawn. Her song burns in the darkness with cool, radiant heat, lofts new emotions into faintly radiant geometries, sorrow, joy, catbird, honeysuckle. Blue mother, your children know your desire in their nerves, in their glassy altitudes. And they honor your musty midnight hymns in the azure of their hollow, stellar silences. One more. Right, one more. Rig. Feeling the steering wheel, humming under my hands, staring into the dark, checking the mirrors and gauges regularly, thinking of accident and verse. Diesel droning like a mantra. Oh, we are not lonely tonight, my machine and I, feeling the highway humming under my hands.
I know the next poet and I have crossed paths here and there, and we've been Facebook friends for quite a while. But this is one of the first times we've gotten to officially interact in any capacity. And I'm happy to have him here tonight, Zack Pieper.
Thanks for having me. I read a lot of sequences of very, very short, small poems that kind of make a bigger poem, and I'm going to read some from this sequence. This would be back and forth. Yeah. Okay, so this is from, I wonder if I can get this a little taller. Is that going to be, nah, this is fine. So the sequence is called Try. Try these ghostly co-sponsors, unquote, over slices of lifelike, zany Dorito dust, flavor dust, yes, spoken over spangled crumbs, but upon slick and totally attainable surfaces like this. Try mercurial depths. Note, want not, wait a lot. Waste a lot, want a lot. What you waste will waste a lot. More later, more and more. What you want must wait. What a waste. What you wait for wastes a lot. What you most want, taught to want, wants not. Trying. As I hazard a slot, I lock heads and blasphemize each bumper shock and flocks above honk and sob from any clear focus one can level. Code. Not the future, but your own personalized told. Not in signs, not in facial gestures and punchlines, but in code, in utilitarian designs, frameworks which function beyond both meaning and futility. Codes loom. Try public utterances fine mist. Try Plato's cave just this once. Try intrinsic spritzer. Try isolating the bouncing ball. Try to nudge the icons of unbridled nostalgia, flame, get it, to receptive host systems, personified as vehicles four-wheel in a mist of outdated and crudely drawn figuration. Passengers? View. Mating ceremony captured on webcam courses. The mind, the mood called spirit, or worse, even more hidden symbols manufactured to replay in private. Happening. I'm scared nothing is going to happen. I'm scared of the nothing that is happening. Trees, birds, radios, cars, the wires streaming from ears, the tangle above sunset. I'm scared of this, nothing, sweet nothings, various personal nothings. I'm scared of the nothing that is not happening and exactly what nothing is about to bring. Blend. Its goals of fave pick mid-solo gap its own brand of maybe not sold billions of copies of the debut bedroom Fantasia. Tryouts. For each and every single ex-archangel, team forum, community poll applicant, rehashing constitutional gas station, polywana, haha, living wages, watch the epicenter, sweepstakes, college offer, get up, and out of here. not believe in these people you passed on the freeway on your way to San Francisco? Okay, that's a selection from Try, and this is my attempt to insert myself into that noble tradition of desperate individuals like Francois Villon, where I've made a poem that's I've been typing on receipt paper for years called My Will, or The Living Will and Testament of Zack, Pieper. This is an excerpt, and it'd be nice to have a little organ in here because it is a will. Let me see if it is. My will. I will the contents of my checking account to stand. I will these manila envelopes full of appliance manuals to Dad. I will my robin's egg blue coasters from Hillcrest Inn to tea. I will this circus charm bracelet with little shoes and a cash register to Amanda. I will the book of the 7 seals to Jerry. I will the other, less rusted tea kettle to Randy. I will all these CVS bags back. I will Gale Miracle Man, #1, near mint condition. I will my lost or stolen pearl-handled jackknife collection to Jacob. I will that plush leather jacket from Tampa to Keith. I will my goblet full of buttons and batteries to Vanessa, so resourceful. I will this Ozzy Osbourne keychain to Jen. My ancient mammoth PC desktop husk goes back to Dave. My George Foreman grill, still in box, goes back to Jean. I will my Bell ambulance calendar to Nana. I will 2 tins of fish and a first edition Steiner to Alicia. I will my coffee filters and a bunch of records to Grasshopper. I will my stories of Ambrose Bierce audiobook to David. I will whatever's left of the cortisol cream to Aaron. I will all my chapbooks and action figures to Mike. I will this videotape of a man filming cars and breathing heavy to Matt. I will a silver balloon to the bouncer at Mineshaft. I will all my remaining gas money in a Colombian coffee can to Brock. I will a barren landscape painted in blood to Kyle. I will a gorgeous Victorian dollhouse to be fought over amongst all friends and family. I will this quartz compass to Casey. I will this #2 pencil to Miss Nelson. I will 17 coat hangers to Catherine. I will the last cig in the pack of Pall Mall lights to Teddy. I will this smiley face button with a single blood teardrop to Troy. I will this jumbo can of Great Northern beans to John, the cook at the pharmacy cafe. If you know, you know. I will my dry unused sponges to Pastor Fisher. I will the Civil War stories to David. I will all remaining Big Mac brand flannel work shirt to Zav. I will this Mertzbau birdhouse to Chuck. I will this hubcap painted with arabesques to Amir. I will my Land Before Time mug to Amy. I will Meredith's Hulu Prime password to Keith. I will my vanilla food coloring to Kirsten. I will Eco Raider bedbug spray to Milwaukee County Common Council. I will my drug dealer contact to my primary care physician. I will this busted stereo system to Milwaukee County Police Department. To We Energies, I leave a charred tray of tater tots and a sixer under a single swinging light bulb. I will this random plastic flower clip to Sparrow. I will this shopping bag full of paper clips to, of course, Frank. I will what's left in this spray bottle of Lime Away to Cats Properties, LLC. I will all the waterworks to pay grievances to every family. I will my empty ballot with marginalia to the Library of Congress. I will my thumb drive to the Smithsonian. I will the endangered eagle to swoop down and attack the brazen photographer pool. I will this Brett Favre bobblehead on the driver's dashboard to the head of the town council of Kenosha. I will this super soaker full of piss to Officer K. I will the one really big mansion on Lake Shore to the Kia boys. I will these shoeboxes full of post-it notes with ghost shapes as a permanent gift to the windows of the U.S. Bank. I will the stinking marrow of my bones be dumped on the desk of Texaco shareholder. I will the Summerfest grounds to a pack of wild horses. I will Tony outside the federal building each Sunday wearing bunny ears, a tall boy PBR and lightweight cot, and the remaining balance of my snap card. I will the I-39 interchange to the Winnebago Nation. I will the Cave of the Mounds to the Menominee, the gift shops to their kids. I will the private club putt-putt golf to the families of the Shawnee. I will the hills east of Sheboygan to the summer workers at Green Giant. I will my right arm to the Navient Enterprises. I will my left arm to UWM Department of Sciences. I will my brain be buried beside me. I will my heart hidden by a big willow. I will the gas stations to be strung with shredded confetti. I will to be annexed all of my possessions. I will their kiddos to dance in sprinklers. I will the astroturf of the stadium overgrown with wildflowers. I will my microtonal half-finished crossword puzzles to Riles. I will my filing cabinets full of cutout dollar signs to the MoMA. I will my last lighter to Ray Ray. I will my MacBook White and state driver's license to Little Elmo. I will my ID card to Marvelous Love's son. I will a sack of polished coal soaked in alcohol and set in flames to the Family Research Council. I will leave this big lighter to the Bill Gates Foundation. I will this squid in my bulletin board to Josh. I will my tray full of pennies to the Quick Trip on Breckenridge. I will the last case of Rhinelander to Jess and Toby. I will my angel magnet to Ellen. I will my Vegas Elvis stamp to Debbie. I will my collection of farmers' almanacs to the Mabel Wagon and Carriage Factory. I will my exploded microwave full of flowers to the IRS break room. I will the poems of John Donne to Mo at Sunrise Foods. I will my utensils, forks, spoons, table knives to be jammed in the gears of some control booth at NASA. I will this ceramic Siamese cat to Miss S. I will this flashlight, $1, to whoever inhabits this shitty room next. May it help you find the screw in the carpet. May it help you find the fuse. May it help. Thanks, guys.
That's awesome. Thanks. Our third poet is a good friend of mine and current co-poet laureate of Racine, Dr. Thomas Carr.
to boreal forests where northern lights take flight and the wolves swim bright. The difference doesn't matter. Sun or the moon, I don't want either. They both look like child skeletons bundled in cliff crevices, white as the eyes clustered in poison ivy. I don't care if they play with matches, are life or death, if one is lesser and the other greater, or in what order they eat flesh. Our differences matter, but it does not matter who is who, or which is which, like my surgical scars that I won't look at or touch. No lover has seen these geographic valleys in the cartography of skin, situating the lover's eye in an ordinary resolution. In the lesser light of our first day, I beheld the good, black eyes, black hair, black mouth, marble skin, the mind-winged heels. Don't expect me to love you. You are so exasperating. Your fingers grip too tight. You say you're an atheist. Atheism is so selfish, and you are so religious. In the greater light, I didn't see the knife going in, but I saw it coming out. Oh, to Racine while thinking about a colleague deceased. I'm in love, exclaimed the absinthe drinker into the deaf house. Outside, the sun, in the calamitous lapse, started burning everything in sight. And up the street, the neighbors shouted at each other, their voices tall as plastic champagne flutes, swirling their psychotic brakes. Inside the house, he got up from the couch to write a few irritable lines of prose on the melee outside. His day had been good, he thought. He had taught his 2 classes and left an hour later because he suddenly awoke at 2 a.m. after a lucid nightmare of falling to his death from crumbling cliffs, lethal layer cake cliffs in his murderous corner of Montana. The morning was good, although when he turned his back to write on the whiteboard, he heard giggling. But on Saturday, he had ordered 2 new pairs of pants to replace the threadbare ones that he now wore. He turned to face the class and continued with the instruction. He stayed late to help a student complete the assignment that was due the previous week. He read back the first line and it didn't make any sense to say anything out loud, especially that in particular. Shed fur covered the floor. He couldn't be in love with housework, he thought. He then thought about his colleague who had died the previous week. His death was not unexpected. There was a decline. He was a colleague, not a friend. But they had published together a few times. He was brought on board by a mutual friend. Colleague, he thought. Down the street, a crowd started chanting, shouting, but it sounded like a chainsaw because he couldn't make out the words. He'll wash out his ears in the morning, he thought. To understand his colleague better, and to show the deceased memory the appropriate respect, he began reading his colleague's biographical book that he had bought 20 years ago, first edition, hardcover. His colleague was a good prose writer, he thought. The phone rang, and he picked it up. Outside, the sun was still burning everything alive, and up and down the street, the screaming muttered. The voice on the other end asked if she was audible. He should have replied, but he said yes. She didn't answer, and then he hung up. Outside, a police car siren stammered in the blaze. A message came in from the Bureau of Land Management, asking for news from the summer's fieldwork. He couldn't report the nightmare, but he could say that he had published on fossils from public lands that summer, open access, and on August 19th. He wanted to sleep. But he remembered the time when he sat in his colleague's turret office in that city where those towers were shot in the head. He found out the Asian tyrannosaurs in columns and rows, and he said the captivating numbers, and he asked his colleague about logistics, because he had before organized an expedition to Mongolia, whereas his colleague had before, legendarily. But his colleague's eyes were black glitter. His colleague said, "Your institution is too small." But his colleague flashed in orange-white outlines of a Chinese restaurant phoenix. His colleague said, "Your institution doesn't have any money." It was pretty discouraging, really protective, said his friend, who also sat up straight on the couch. From the air at night, that park in the center was as black as the shape of a Confederate flag. 20 years later, inside the house, as he loosed a glass of the most expensive absinthe in the world, in grim memoriam into the psalm of a Versailles stemware, he thought trespass and atonement don't fit here. And in the far distance, Tyrannosaurus Batar and the Namek Plateau leaned into his car window, their tops plunging like leisure time below pale wet lipstick. And in the middle distance, water dripped, and in the close distance, dogs snored. Dogs are artificially bred gray wolves, he thought. Wolves that eat in the house. And have the good cheer of having dog paddled in the warm water tank of a nuclear reactor. And when he did sleep, the dogs hung down head first in the ceiling like wall-eyed vampire bats. And he reminded himself that he had to leave at 4:30 p.m. to lead a workshop with 2 of his students, so he'd better sleep now. Outside, the sun was crazed and wore a black microskirt and halo and charmed the neighbor's children with male and female teeth. Katrina, the skeleton woman, wears the best clothes, grins the best grin, and puts everything in place. The moon too marigold, the sun too enraged. Katrina, do I think of suicide? Katrina smiles. Darling, no. Her hair piled up like night on its last page. I was cut, and blood ran down for my lust in my first memory. Blood ran like a parent for a child, like a spouse from a spouse. Blood ran like an alligator on a treadmill, from the war, from the victory. Blood ran from the mouth, from the secret brought into view. Blood ran for its life, barreled down Niagara, and walked along Monroe. Blood ran from me to you, keep me quiet, keep you in horror and in shock. Blood ran wherever you thought, from your bed, in a flood among your friends. Blood washed us like Bathory, but we aren't any longer young. I ran like blood from the sharp yellow truth that you're not giving in. Epitaph for Dan Nielsen. I can face the sunset. I cannot face the sunrise. I can face a blank glow, becoming straw, then orange, then a ruby eye where the deathbed shows. I cannot face the sunrise, where reverie is the epiphany, where aging gets in first, and the fireball looshes a petal snow. I cannot face the sunrise. Frantic as a keyboard where ideas should lie dead in an optimism not for show. The sunrise. A thing not done on its own. A star too close. A laugh that cannot be strangled. That has a knife for a throat. A non-god that keeps its home. I cannot face the sunrise. When its bark is slate or blue. When barbs and barbules hiss out from its plume. When the fact that I'm a ship poet swipes a skull from my face. Where its light buries me. Where the muse swallows her disgrace. La Muse Verite says, you've had a life too long to accomplish so little. Whatever you saw in your life was fleeting. You think you have too much time and spend the nights absinthing. In my death aspect, you are right. The sun is dim, and all of our faults are given tongues. Last night the moon rose up full and ginger. What did the moon see? What did I see? What marriage did we make to ruin thee? Like an echo, the kiss returns in a retreat. Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll take a short intermission and then we'll be back with more. Thanks. All right, welcome back to the second half. Before I introduce the next two poets, I'm going to read a couple things with them since we've got some extra time. I'll let you guys start it off though. The room is a well. The well is a basement. The basement is a Super Ball. The room is not a basement. The room is a reflection. The Super Ball is a reflection. The well is a room. The room is a cello. The reflection is a cello. The cello is a basement. The cello is an investment. The basement is an investment. The investment is a Super Ball. The Super Ball is an interval. The reflection is an interval. The interval is a room. The room is a Super Ball. The room is an interval. The basement is not a well. The well is an interval. The room is not a sound. The sound is an interval. The sound is a reflection. The sound is a basement. The reflection is not a basement. The reflection is a Super Ball. The investment is a reflection. The investment is a cello. The reflection is a cello. The cello is not extraordinary. The basement is not extraordinary. The Super Ball is not extraordinary. The Super Ball is a room. The room is not a room. The room is extraordinary. What catfish that cast river of brass and grin, serpent king cowboy, double car time, current first bid fire, repent animal rash, reviled power, drowned kazoo, burned acquisition, servant, borrowed survival, bundled fist fight, nominal trending brash, and nickname relic train, second time sinking, scarred for drink design, risky trash, mining for finality. RV vacations for dummies. How far, how long in country ham, looking for a close encounter. Lion caves of the 1920s never are electric, no matter the machine. Different wrinkles to maps, a great need. The supply, the time, the latest pilot need of each committee. Model sleep to maintain restriction, and those that offer above the old-fashioned. It's your need and fuel, a great intersection to be in the mind, want, and time of a very cold climate. And regardless dissolves our favorite things about being. For we have such in each side with need of this variation. To the middle, deep breath. Thanks. It's my pleasure to introduce here from Chicago, Ihns.
Hi everyone. Okay, just gonna set the timer. I began to love you when you failed to respond to my will. Duck, duck, goose, you became the world, and cut the glass across its reflex. You were fast and did not sink into the lake. Whereas suds does a surfactant, doing lifting, and a holographic pleasure was the kind that yours would be. Like the vermilion flinging sequins of Renee Fleming's operatic pink champagne dress. Like feathers ripping from the sofa, a sun that plunges down into the TV. Big leaf. Of the instrument, let's make it sob. The season was in its world, magnificent. On the wet steps, it was walking slowly down. The big deal of it, it was walking down, it was attending to, of the gown, the hem, and getting soaked, and something intruding on the aperture. The water looked like sound going fast enough, very splashy, big as foam, as exclamation, rocking in its dirty subjacence, static and fireflies, the sea was cellophane, tonight you live with the object differently after you've made it. Carry the shape of something else. You were, it was, struggling to originate, and all I knew, I was happy to know, in the middle of such serious music. Lives by Ihns. Leads you to and from the direct idea of James, a very becoming and horrible tool. You could suss it out. You could get it down, like a peeler from a high place in storage. Should it rest there a long time for some purpose, spanked and vigorous in a long mailing season? Or, like Spinoza, who is important to everyone, electrical, stirred by the magic promptings of God, like a star that is traveling together, one at a time. Sound start. The blessed state of the waiting room, the blessed stare, wherein the vegetables are still for a moment, raylessly. What he is seeing, or should not have been seeing, or is suddenly seeing, when it comes out of the world as a point of view, beating on a cool plain surface, I rest there in the juice of beads coolly. To draw in the charges and duck towards sleep, that's a little theremintic song through the floorboards. Be really simple, almost featureless, and the background shining through such quality, through some outlived kind of process. Try not to be detached or multiplied, but one kind of modulation is the dissolved modulation always, in all showing still or secrets hid, even the verb. He sits on the right hand, that of priority. It is not a present, a continuous aspect. It is not a spot on the actual right side. The shortness of the garb means his working place, and you must tack, must go through the gate of viewing. Fleeces of roses. Residue of blue I am screaming. My jaw will not shut on its own. How strange. Maybe there is a problem. It over there is like a vitrine ceiling. Meridian, green glass roof like trains go beneath it. The ground is a sucking motion. It can access my legs. Hilariously, each moment I am at the ceiling. The ceiling is a pale vertiginous green. I hit it hard each time. Hard. I am a dumb kite slamming the ceiling with my tattery wet bag because the string goes up. The geyser, the rock cap now the ceiling. The string goes up the ceiling. In the kloof they are sweeping with rainbows. On the other end is the end. On the other end is the cloud sweeping through the front pane. In fact, it is steam. It is just rising. He is on the ground, he has nothing to spare. He is wet for my cuckoo in a hat. He appears to be stuck to the dirt tuft where he is. His eye is a blue pinhole, dark blue. He appears to be stuck. Do you want to go back and lay in your red bag? He does not. He is stuck, he is laughing, he likes it. He is a lint on a lint screen, wetter. He is a bondo, mulch foam interior, glue tendril, and a rainbow stone, chased without stop by lights across it. Floating in the cool loop of his ribcage head, his head hangs like a last blue berry on a dry stalk. The fine clocks of the will is beating on his fence, sucking bricks. Did you see God up there? No, just Math Cathedral made of trees. I saw a branch which did not end and became another branch, and variously the mosses make a radiating ring of dark on the earth. There is a tree which extends through it. Oh, I have no problem with it. It is not conceivable to have a problem. My lungs are hot and swimming, so I move them. To keep the lamp on, I understand I must periodically support the light-based circulation, feathery, opening and closing like a shutter in my neck. Who I throw them through, the echo of the questions. Hello, hello, I know who you are. You green book writ on your every angle. You should take care as long as you want to stay. Fleeces of roses, swimming iridescent patched, radio that, even the grasses and the leaves, to reaching through an open air, who retains its pulse and throws a tunnel of dimensional ring. Then the sun is coming down, tremendously still, like chimes and feathery. It's mercy, it's early, its mercy is early. My eyes are a tear field, streaming radiation chyme, radiating white chyme. Bless all life, which is blind and ends. Bless all life, which is feathery. Gloria. Through my ceiling now, huge dog, named Gloria. Huge Gloria dog. Huge Gloria. She has vulnerable feet. Blot or cruciform. The pulsation act of the striated material held apart in itself by a medical fork. So to circulate around the valuable photographic equipment or sentiment, where was such flotation already? I'm running here and not here to tell you through the street where I'm going. Crucial symptom of the major activity. Major symptom of the crucial activity. Major crucial symptom of the activity. Crucial major activity of the symptom. Do I approach someone such that it is flat? That seems hard. Such that none of it partakes of inhering. What? He reverses like a little rocket ship. Belief I can express by fearing. By love, I mean what you mean now. There is a scrap in the sky. It itches when I itch it. So we are in love. A woman skates a lane on the frozen lake. Some of the fish are dead, and some are not. The birds. I have a vital fear of birds. When the birds are on the beach, I am disturbed from the beach. When the birds are on the beach, I enter my car. Should the birds extend to the car, I am desperate. The birds can cut me off from exit concisely by being simply in the route. The problem with birds is that there are a lot of birds. You cannot address all the birds that there are. One of them are being produced by something capable of producing it. Some rock that isn't you anymore. Ho-hum of ghosts, involved like the rock. The west-faced unbearable hot ray. The hot nutritious light of afternoon. family at holiday. You hold your huge blank face up to be kissed. By light, you are kissed and melted. Snow. Huge, obvious solar dome. They work peaceably in the sun, room on tweed couches. In your own right head to be there. The ham. The ham on glass dish. Explanatory power. It was dangerous, interesting, and sad to me. Useful to me. Useful to me. Useful to me. There is something I've not rightly understood, some cropped aspect of the sunset, 5 birds rising from the ground at sunset. Their house may be what it is, some 6th bird that may now be related. It looks, awarely, at its bright head, whose content is whether objects are made of it or not. Build a house. I feel reluctant to do so. Speaking, that was more like turning, new jewel of the head, but I thought, it can be a piece of mail, like a bill. At their life I could not rise to meet them, stuck on the hay, heavy, weepy iron, detailing of what it is laying, happy, beautiful heart among needs, willows, incandescent brushed no face. Her eyes are only in the front of her head. It moving, cooperative movement of my jaw. Something that style has promised to disclose, whose ramifications distill it to silence. An image, thrown by star, on afternoon. Thrown on the nice woman's face you are, quiet or pleading, substance or chatter. The clothing of detail, but the empty face of water. No thought, only yes. Okay, thank you, yes. Only yes to silence. Too related, just embrace the corrective warmth. If you can surface when the food is promised, hold the plate to make the beam burn through the face of the gel. Beautiful old wall, inflection of absolutely habit, beautiful old shrub. It's retrospective, whatever will have been true. Use the chair, the matter-of-factness of actually living. Eat air, water, leaves. You could do that instead. Lay down in light what actually is. Cut against the photo, some simpler drawing. Clearer thing. Smiley face emoticon. One turns a knob, enters room, exits similarly. You were padded, and pleased with your pad, squatting in the corner thinking, I am not nervous. November fly, buzzing in the house. You will be killed without mercy, because you are annoying, and we do not understand you. Thanks.
I will introduce him very slowly in that pace. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to announce the next poet who will shortly be coming up here after a brief pause in time because he is on his way here. Here he is. Milwaukee County Poet Emeritus, Mario the Poet.
Hello everybody, how you guys doing? All right. Now for something completely different. All right. So I'm gonna do some poems from my book, Pub Game, Sophistry, and the Rust of Judgment. And it's available for sale. You should get you one. Everybody should have one. So I thought I would have more pertinent banter before we started this thing, but I don't. I ate a bacon, sausage, and egg sandwich before I got here, and I'm still a little groggy from all the pork. But we're gonna try this out. If y'all would let me do it. For fools, waiting for angels. The coordinates are littered with strands of vascular remains. Pockmarked, potholed, and crumbling, the impasse that was my most fevered wish is completely inaccessible. Wish it was a widow's mourning that had ruined my journey, but This unexamined pathway's tragedy is my failure, so I weep without warning. Drink without quench and presume, like all fools, lost without shepherd, that my own devices can get me back to where I belong. Having grown cantankerous with effort, my sense of self-assuredness contrives more obstacles. Not knowing which way you are going and totally deserted makes every oasis seem like your destination, a fool. Over and over again, repeating echoes of a myriad of incantations under and around me, repeating the life I beg for, or to surrender, but this far from the Milky Ways, please for succor go completely unheeded. Pity my impudence. Cry me rivers of gravel, speak me out of existence, self-sabotage is my agency, idle and defect till catastrophe becomes the only as obvious outcome. Fucking bitch, look how you left me here. Talking to myself over morning coffee, lying to my friends on my condition and waiting for Azrael's relief, but his many wings and booming words have no jurisdiction. My juvenile sentimentality exposes my lack of wisdom, my lostness, and any correction, of course, requires resolve and only responsibility to captain the ship closer to Gabriel Strong. Yeah. Barmate. On wobbly bar stools, in dark taverns, the hurried world is a full stop. The cantankerous, the crestfallen, and the abandoned meet, greet, and mingle. We are fellowship of crack Maratoshka dials, showing off our hamstrung, hidden inside. And the beer gets cold enough to freeze the moment. The lies get painted whiskey and tequila, and every so often, one of us dies, so we make merry and wait our turn. There are pool cues standing at attention, the gambling of wages and the occasional fist fight. Widow mistresses, the dart boards, and the coasters, the sides of unforgivable sinister renown notices. We pay in cash, play the jukebox bride, pretending we can make things better between us. There are first steps waiting. The glass menagerie, the patron shape of adjuration, an open reliquary of blood, bitterness, and a muckraking mockery. We have taken each other home before. Turn still fundamentally fractured, focus on the wrong parts of ourselves for mending. Children never visit. And the church is always waiting. And the ice cubes and the urinals remind us the life is melting away. The more we piss away our time here, posing for insecure selfies, trying to memorize each other's name. Election day, November 5th, 2024. We are accustomed to bloodletting, having been tutored in the old ways before science cared about reason and the humors were taken seriously. Backpedaling and a cauldron of crimson morning flowers, the ancestors giggle at the avarice in our orthodoxy. We think things have gotten better, that America can change in leaps and bounds, but the waltz is more turn and 2 steps backwards. The song is less anthem, more ballad, and the hero's journey is perilous. The revolution far in the distance. They said the mandatory reporters and social justice warriors were perpetrating a fraud, or at least that's what the exit poll suggested. Said that Jesus could hear us wailing in the belly of the ship and did nothing to save us. There is no help coming. The drums are just goat skin pulled tightly over hardwood, bang, scream, and better as you desire. We are outnumbered, outgunned, and left for dead in this stolen land, asleep. Overindulged and foolhardy, we are partly to blame for our own executions. When woke became a mockery, critical race theory was labeled a prevarication, straw arguments about trans politics were added to policy discussions, and I'm just trying to keep my health care. Trying to hope to change my surroundings. Just want someone to make something make sense again, since 69% of white women voted against their own interests, since my brown brothers and sisters started aligning themselves with fascists and an orange felonious tyrant was given actual authority again. It's a strange context we keep watching. tick past the hour of chaos, the doomsday clock struck 0, and the only solution seemed like exodus. Have to get the fuck away from here. It's blood and widows they are hereafter. Heard laughter and the echoes of untimely concessions to their fabricated allyship. They do not want us here, do not love us here, do not intend us anything but unmarked and sail blockade. So when the new moon finds us, still undone from there to see, make sure to mention the woke ones told you this would happen. It seemed obvious from the times and signs and omens the devil was loose and about his business, like he always seems to be. I like that one. All right. So again, I thank y'all for tolerating me for a minute. I got 2 more poems I'm gonna get out the way. Again, all these poems are included in my book, Pub Games, Sophistry, and A Rush to Judgment. I realize it's a long, stupid title, but they gave me a long, stupid title, so I figured, fuck them, I'll give it to y'all too. Again, my name is Mario the Poet. I had the pleasure of serving as Milwaukee's Poet Laureate from the year 2022 to 24. They call me the Poet Laureate Emeritus. I'm not the former Poet Laureate. Former Poet Laureates are dead, so don't call me that. All right. I'm not dead. Anyways, a poem. I want to tell you of easier days. When waking doesn't bend you, when shaking and cursing God and the cowardice of lies you tell your best of friends doesn't seem simpler than the execution of obituaries that heartless dreams to sweat. I've been a complete disaster lately. The rotted corpse sticking through my pillowcases and overturned cement truck laying across my lung muscles and the siren of unspoken words playing a timpani of regrets over the hum of the air conditioner. She left me in a rush. Didn't give me a warning, didn't give me time to apologize, to unshackle my ego and write scriptures for mending and exoneration. She is not coming back. Not in any way I can say with any confidence, but she never left me alone. She is the rushing to get ready, the cursing of complete strangers in a hurried Newport smoking and a tavern full of surrender to the open mouth roundhouse turnstile of paramours and whiskey. I want to tell you, it gets easy. It doesn't. Half a score of spell casting since our unwelcome exit, and I can't remember what her voice sounded like lately. This is a sin that fills me with panic, that mocks my reprobate imagination with shame and timidity, picking chrysanthemums out the hymnal pages of my nighttime prayers. The song of misery pursues me in the midnight. I want to tell you, it gets easier. It never will be easier. She will not come when you call her, but you will call her by her first name, because there is nothing she can do to stop you. My mother is gone, away on business. My mother will never cease being my mother, even though she left me here to figure out the tragedy of her exit. And come Easter, her birthday, a Christmas morning when the phone doesn't ring, when the inbox doesn't greet me, when the chatter in my head won't let me sleep, I will be forced again to surrender her sacred to my frighten and wish beneath my breath that once more she would hug my neck and tell me tomorrow it will get better. Well, I know for certain that's a lie. Yep. Again, my books, they're only $10.
Only $10.
Very good. You should get you one. I appreciate you guys for tolerating me for a minute. The band is wonderful. Give them a round of applause. When you have such talented musicians back in you, it makes everything easy. So I'm going to do this last poem. It's also included in my book. So buy a book, buy a book, buy a book. I'm not going to, the money you spend does not go to help any impoverished children. I'm probably going to spend it on drugs. All right. A cadence. A cadence. I got myself. There is a cadence in the beat. A 2/4 rhythm and pounding out submission to dance. I'm cutting open skin, peeling away epidermis to white meat and screaming, stop. Your heart is a djembe drum. Your mouth is a trumpet, your lungs, bellows, hands tuned to the right timbre can halt the music, swaying inside. Hearing his 5-year-old daughter crying for her in the barn, a father ran and discovered the unthinkable. A man molested her. The father pulled the man off his daughter's authority stake and started pummeling him to death with his fist. The outer membrane of your body will surrender first. Plasma rushing to its surface, bruises, corpuscles crack like eggs against cement. The first blow must have been awakening the electric company of nerves, firing warnings and searing pain. I wonder if he was awake at the fourth blow, or the eighth. As rage and fury and justice descended upon this crumbling, I prayed, felt every snare drum, every tom-tom, every hi-hat cymbal, as his pedophile body gave in to the drowning of blood filling his lungs. Boot heels cracked. Ball fist clap, spit, kick, pummel, blood smear, mumbling a melody of justifiable devastation, an arpeggio, broken bone, a majestic concerto colliding quick time against unraveling wickedness. I for one pray he heard each note. Tasting these coagulating red blood cell conscious as the final darkness descended, gurgled, forgive me, through shattered teeth, cracked jaw, crushed nose, gushing as the demons rose to carry him to the lowest hell, dark like Dante's Inferno, battered, wide-eyed fury, escorting him into oblivion. There are pacifists among us who find violence abhorrent, who see men's honor and incivility, who pity us, this animal inside, frothing, clawing, hungry for blood. But there are times when forests burn and nation's rejuvenation ritual, when lightning brings fire and trees crumble. In order to feed the earth, the sun itself is explosive with gas, churning and spinning sunspots like God's fingers painted radiant blossoms from a big bang, long forgotten, if I catch you. With your hands, your sickness, your desire, anywhere near my child's innocence, plead your heart stop. Beg the earth be torn asunder and swallow us all inside it, for mercy will not find us. Between the flash of anguish and the tearing open of flesh, there will be much sorrow, mostly yours. Then darkness. And if hell is a place of great torment for men wicked, if there I meet you, run. For nothing Satan has waiting would be anything close to the devastation promised for me. Yeah.
One more hand for Mark Mantel. Ihns, Dr. Thomas Carr, Zack, Pieper, and Nick Cipollone. We will be back here a couple more times for formations concerts. The next one is in April, the third Thursday in April. And Logan Erickson will be coming back to Milwaukee from Minneapolis to do a set with his partner Don SK. They'll be doing a set of electronic music. And then we've got Hal Ramel and Linda Binder doing a duo set as well. That'll be the last of our normal format concerts in this space, and I'm glad Hal is going to be a part of that one. For anyone that doesn't know Hal, he curated a lot of music here for a long time and was a mentor of mine. And so I've been honored to be able to do this. The last formations concert in the space will be the third Thursday in May, and it will be an improvising orchestra of 10 musicians. It will be chaos. It will be Nick Verbose, Willem, Steve Nelson Rainey, Mark Mantel, Tim Russell, Pat Reinholtz, Adam Murphy, Paul Godinsky, who's bringing a theremin, and I encourage everyone to stand as close to it as possible just to mess with it. Barry Clark, and Pedro, and possibly myself. I'm debating doing a conducted improvisation for one, but that's going to be the last one. We'll have 2 sets of a large group improvisation. Thanks everyone for coming. Thanks to those of you that performed. I don't need to tell anyone here to go out and support the arts because you're doing it, so just keep doing that. And thanks again.